Hello Internet, I'm Dan.
And I'm Chaz. This is Wine is Serious Business, episode 2...
Something.
Something.
We don't know. We didn't record the episode numbers in Germany. We're not going to do it now. I'll probably get it back in order in a month or so after we get through all of that content. Didn't want to give it numbers because I don't know when I'm going to release them, but they're coming, and some of them are fantastic.
Yeah, are you going to release this show, though, before the
This one I'm going to do this weekend because I can do it, right, I can put it together in an hour.
Yeah.
Those are going to take a lot of editing.
Yeah, so we were just in Germany for the last 3 weeks, essentially. This is our first weekend back in America since then, and so been kind of itching to get back into some Oregon Pinot. Like, we kind of talked about it, and I knew the 2013s were starting to land, so I really went out and looked and ended up with these three. So the Evesham Wood 2013 Willamette Valley, which is something we always try to check out. We'll start with that.
Yeah.
I think.
It's all pretty entry-level stuff tonight, right?
Yeah, they're all around $20.
Cool.
So,
that's the sweet spot if you can find good ones. So.
And then the second one is the Klee. I'm going to say that, the Klee.
Sure.
Klee.
Klee, yeah.
But it's from Roots, which is a producer we know and love. And then Purple Hands, which I believe is the label of the son of...
Cody Wright.
Cody Wright's
Ken Wright's
son.
son.
Ken Wright's son. So,
yeah.
Just, but 2013, really kind of wild vintage in Oregon. The weather really played a lot of tricks on the growers, so it worked harvest a couple places. It was pretty crazy.
And you kind of see, so Evesham Wood makes light wines pretty consistently, but even for them, this is, right, like I've had rosés that are this dark.
Correct,
But
this is very ruby colored. I mean, this is light ruby.
Yep.
So it's really clear.
Yep. Clear, light. Let's see how it goes. Like leather and raspberries, but really light notes for sure.
Yes, it's all of the earthy notes and like a bit of stemminess, a bit of like young roses, green rose or green rose plant. But man, like it's leathery. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. It's
a little earthy, and I like it better a little bit out. I get a little bit of heat if I really get my nose in there. Not too bad, it's not really disruptive if you're not really trying to find it. So, but good complexity for light wine.
Smells a bit like red tea. You get some red tea components as well. But yeah, it smells nice. But definitely the fruit components are not the forward thing in the nose.
That is tasty. That is like young, crisp raspberries, really good red apple, a little bit of that leather character that I was talking about. Not terribly complex, but a little bit of complexity and just really enjoyable fruit flavors.
Very lean on the palate. I mean, the fruit flavors are not a powerful component of this. I agree with the red apple, maybe like a hint of like green apple even.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of the tannins lead to like almost like it sort of reminds you of like apple skin.
Chewing on the apple skin a little bit. Yeah. Once some get stuck on your teeth, they're like.
Huh. But yeah, the young raspberry thing, but all the flavors are dialed way down. Lean, crisp wine, which you don't say very often about Oregon Pinot. So. Yeah,
this is definitely on the light side. This would be. Like you talk about, I think like Teutonic consistently kind of makes wine of this style, right?
Correct.
Where it's like lighter, kind of that zippy acidity.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
A little tart feel, and then so if you love those wines, this is kind of in line with that.
It says 13% alcohol, but I would say a little less.
I'd be surprised if it sure doesn't taste like it.
Yeah, it sure doesn't. Like it's very lean, and the weight of it is very light and delicate. There's still really good tannic feel. There's nice acid that all have a similar intensity with the fruit. Like everything's dialed down a few notches.
I would love this with like just like a little salads, pomegranate seeds, blue cheese in there. I think this could go really well. And man, that light feeling is you could just kind of keep drinking glasses of this really enjoyably. If it's really 13.5, that'll get you for a while.
But then, I swear Evesham Wood puts 13% on every label.
That could be. And nobody, and like the government's never going to get at you for being too high, right?
Right? Yeah, that's probably not, but you never know. It's usually probably the direction. So
anyway, it's light, it's enjoyable, yeah.
I think I paid $17 for this, or $18. A pretty interesting wine at that price point.
Yeah, totally.
Totally a drink now wine in my opinion. or something that you would drink in the next 3 years. I mean, it's not.
I don't see any reason to wait. It's enjoyable
Yeah.
now, and it doesn't strike me as the style of wine that was made to.
You never know,
made
though.
strong.
I mean,
It
I
could hold up.
really, I should never even make guesses on how long wine will last because no one ever knows, right?
Sure.
So
And the producer's definitely got a good track record, but
absolutely.
I don't see any reason to wait. I think it's for being so young, it's integrated pretty nicely right now too. I think it's in a good spot. You'll see it on glass pour lists too. Probably see it on glass pour lists for what $12, $10, something like that.
Probably.
Go for a glass.
Yeah.
I know I will if I see it.
This is similar, and Dan really nailed that point. This is similar to Teutonic's like 2010 and 2011 releases, the Laurel Vineyard, that I was really keen on. I think those were a bit more complex than this one. This one's a little more straightforward, but still, like in a similar vein, like just light, delicate, really pretty wine. So
Yeah, solid stuff.
87 points for me.
88 for me.
So good
Yeah,
wine.
and then totally buy it at sub 20. Feeling good about it.
It's an Evesham Wood style wine for sure.
I'm gonna guess that it's clay,
Okay.
but just 'cause I think they're talking about a German guy, but I don't really know. For rinse here, so yeah. So we've enjoyed some wines from Roots in the past. He makes some nice Riesling. He's a big Riesling lover. Makes some good
Yeah.
Pinot Noir too.
No, he does. He
And-
makes some good wine.
And this is just kind of like a second label. I don't know a whole lot of the story behind it. Say it's a tribute to Paul Klee from the Bauhaus movement. I'm not very
Famous teacher of the
educated on
Bauhaus movement. Bauhaus emphasized functional and affordability and consistency. These attributes are also the building blocks for a good bottle of wine. You will find painting. Okay, yeah. So
that. All right.
that was the inspiration behind it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've just been interested to try the 2013s because I think it's one of those vintages that's gonna similar like 07, right, where you spent some time checking out what all the different vintners did or like what all the different producers did, and there's going to be some duds, but there's going to be some
duds. Yeah.
there's going to be some superstars, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's going to pay to really get out there and taste the wines and find
Yeah.
and so that's what I'm excited, right?
Watch
It's
the
like,
blog, read what some people have to say about
exactly,
it.
yeah, because that's it's like the hunt, you know, you got to find the
And
good
the
ones.
prices are never going to blow up, I don't think, right?
Yeah,
This is
probably
also
not.
like 7 in that a couple years down the road you'll still be able to find really sweet wines.
Potentially, yeah. I've heard good and bad things in the press about 2013, so who knows?
Yeah. Way more earthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, less of the like red tea I was talking about in the last wine. This is like there's a little bit of that leather though still, but
Yeah.
this is towards like the dark earth sort of thing.
I think like clay even kind of, like some wet, thicker earth.
A little more fruity on the nose though. I'm getting a touch of raspberry on this one, whereas the Evesham Wood was really eluding me on the fruit flavors. Like this is actually smells a little bit like raspberries and a little bit of like old strawberry and cherry. So
The old strawberry, a little bit of plums. Yeah.
smells alright.
Nice, light, fresh. Feeling good about it again. A little more in the strawberry direction, where that was a little more in the raspberry direction.
Yeah.
But also, boy, really fresh and joy. Maybe it's at the point in the evening where I'm like really digging a glass of wine, but I'm feeling good about both of these.
Yeah, the texture on this wine is quite nice. Like the Evesham Wood was definitely. I don't like to use the word thin because it's not a thin wine, but it is very lean. Like it's almost not there on the palate as far as weight is concerned. This is has a little more substance. Like the second you get in your mouth, it's a little more together. And
Feeling the oak on this a little bit.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe not new oak, but maybe like a 1 year barrel or something
touch
like
rich,
that.
you
Like,
know.
yeah. Some of that from that. By the label, at least a little more alcohol. I believe it here. I believe that this is 13.5.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Not in a
so,
bad way, there's
so
no
a little,
heat,
no,
you know.
no heat, but just
Yeah.
definitely just a little more weight to it.
And the fruit flavors are nice and very easy to understand, right? It's like strawberries, maybe all of it's got good ripeness too. I mean, like it's strawberries, raspberries, just red fruits, and it's really quite delicious.
Man, I think the use of oak here is actually really nice. It really
Just a little bit on the finish.
gives a
there.
little bit of weight to that fruit too, and again, for being so young, it's surprisingly integrated right now. Not something I see very often, but you know, how would that work out? It's nice, makes it approachable.
And I would say the acid and tannins here are pretty well balanced with the wine. I mean, like Vinegaration's there. The acid is like late hitting. It doesn't just overall, like it's not
Definitely,
there initially. Like it's kind of like rich. It's like all nice fruit flavors. And then the acid and tannins kind of like come in the end and say, hey, I'm here. And it's really, really quite a nice wine to drink.
Yeah. Pleasant. 87 for me, but just barely. They're really pretty close. I like this one a little more. But if you like a little richer wines, it's not, you're going to drift towards this. Mm-hmm. That might even be you, right?
Yeah, I was going to say 88. This is where I would say 88.
There we go.
This is quite a nice wine, and I like that richness. I like a little more fruit. Like this is drinking really well now.
And kind of one of the moments where I really like in the show where it's fun to taste these side by side too, because in some ways they're very similar styles, but there's definitely like an element of individuality each of them. That's
absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I think about both of them. Totally recommend for sub 20. All right, on to Purple Hands.
Yeah, I think this was the cheapest of all of them.
Okay.
Like $17 a bottle.
Sure.
So, yeah, definitely worth checking out if you see it around. That is pretty.
Yeah.
Great label on it.
Yep. Cool art. Right.
So, never one to fault good packaging.
Purple Hands, don't know a whole lot about it really. Like I've enjoyed bottles in the past. I suppose the first time I had it was quite a while ago now, 5-6 years, something like that. But but not something I've got a lot of familiarity with. So I'm glad you picked it up. It'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
It's,
well, I first found this producer back when they made it was like a Pinot Noir Merlot blend.
They did. Right? I was wondering. I was like, I think it was in my mind. And I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. Maybe it didn't happen. It totally happened.
That was it. Yeah. And it was actually quite good.
I liked it. Yeah.
I was really impressed with it. So I've purchased a couple bottles of Purple Hands along the years. Like I just kind of watching and So when I saw this there for, I think it was like, this is the most expensive of the group at $21 or $22.
Yeah. Still.
Totally worth checking out. So
cool.
Yeah. I can tell in the rinse even why Jerusha picked this one. So my girlfriend, did a pre-taste, for us, just to make sure none were busted. She chose the Purple Hands to take in the bedroom.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
this was like meaty, kind of like gamey Pinot Noir.
It is. Yeah.
A little bit of earth there. Yeah.
Almost a little like raw. Yeah. I could see some raw meat, like a raw steak
or
something. But yeah, it's cherries to me. A little bit of earthiness to it.
Yeah, like darker fruits, blackberries. Yeah, cherry pits.
Agreed. It smells all right. I mean, it smells good. I'll think of all three of these. The Evesham Wood is I like that one. The way that one smelled the most. So anyway.
Boy, but I get it. Like there are plenty of people who this would be the nose that they want too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Cheddar. We got slang. We got
slang cards.
Slang flashcards here. Pretty funny stuff.
Can't you just see this with a huge splash of blang? I can see that with a huge splash of blang. The nose job cost mad cheddar. Mad cheddar. But I haven't regretted it once. Anyway, back to wine. A lot more body here, and a lot more fruit. You were talking about oak before on the clay.
Yep.
There's a little bit more here on the finish. A little bit of richness. No?
Maybe I'm not tasting it as much, but that doesn't mean it's not there. So. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the finish.
Took a little while for it to
Yeah, but I still don't have a problem with it, honestly. Like it's not like, oh, this is an oaky wine. Like not at all.
Nope.
So, but the fruit here is much darker than the last two wines. Like this is sort of richer blackberries, almost like a blackberry crisper, like a blackberry dessert.
Yeah, cook a little tart maybe or something like that.
Yeah, blackberry tart. Like it's like a little bit almost reduced blackberries, but man, really, it's delicious.
Isn't it like beef jerky? Like this meat thing just keeps just popping into my mind with this wine. Like just real meaty, kind of spicy, dark. I probably wouldn't guess 2013, even the color. Like it's definitely
of the three wines, this is the darkest.
yeah, like darker and heavier. And a lot of people will.
This is 12.5 alcohol on it though.
Fascinating.
This is the lowest alcohol on the label of the three wines.
Fascinating. Yeah. But it is. Yeah. Just dark wine in flavor. Not terribly heavy. Like it's not really like thick. In the mouth or anything. But
it's more of a medium body wine.
Yeah, but relative to the other two, it's definitely
right. It is a big step up from the last two wines. So, when I really rinse it around my mouth, some youthful characteristics are coming out of it, sort of like young raspberries. Mm-hmm. But really, the overwhelming characteristic to me is like kind of overripe blackberries.
Sure.
Which is really strange, just coming from the last two wines. So, yeah, it tastes good though. I mean, to be honest, it's well made, right? Like, there's really good blackberry fruit flavor there. The tannins are very smooth, right? Like
it's true.
The structure, the way the finish kind of comes in the finish is it's smooth and it's got a good balance and it just kind of comes in and says hello. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so, getting just a
straightforward wine though.
Touch of bitterness light, but I think, man, this is a cool lineup because I think all of these, like when I buy a $20 bottle of Oregon Pinot Noir, and like I hope it turns out well. Like all three of these fall into this category.
Yeah, these are all good wines.
You know, like yeah, you can do better every once in a while.
Yeah,
you can do worse almost all of the time.
It's true.
And you know, these are just really solid wines, really solid price.
I was expecting at least a dud in this group, and these are for $20 a bottle. These are all worth your time.
Yeah, and a good range of styles to suit whatever you prefer.
If you're going to like a dinner party with friends, I don't know that I'd bring this.
That's a really good point.
I'll just say that because this is.
Unless I'm one of those friends.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying, like, if you bring it like non-wine drinking friends,
I agree.
This might be a little too lean,
Unless you want to drink it all yourself.
Exactly. Well, there you go. Like, you almost end up on the end of the counter, and you're like. That said, these two are a little more friendly. Yeah. The Purple Hands is definitely the most group friendly of the three wines.
Yeah, I think I agree, and kind of more what people will expect in a glass of red wine.
Yeah. But man, for $21 a bottle, that's fucking.
Woo.
I mean, it bleeped. That's killer. So good job. It's
nice.
Good bottle of wine for $20. So yeah, that's our show.
Yeah, so 80s.
Oh yeah.
87 plus for me.
Yeah.
I think it's really close.
87 as well for me.
Okay.
Like, it's a really good wine. Like it's
yeah.
But it's just very I shouldn't say simple, but it's very straightforward.
No, they're all pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but I just like the characteristics of this wine quite a bit more. So, or not, relatively.
No, it's good.
Good wine. So, cool show. Question of the day. We just came back from vacation. Have you guys taken any big vacations recently?
There we go.
And tell us about it. So, you're going to see what we did in Germany for the last 3 weeks.
So for the next year, we've got more stuff to write and post than we will ever get to, really.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to. I got a ton of tasting notes.
Yeah. So we got to narrow it down to what we think is worth talking about.
Yeah.
If you guys follow us on Facebook, I'm sure you saw photos. What experiences that we've had? Like, what do you want to hear us? Talk about too. Let us know, because that's probably going to influence us to write up that experience sooner rather than later. So
a much better question.
Yeah. We're going to abandon that. We'll make that the question of the day. We'll talk vacation some other time. Let us know what from our trip in Germany you want to hear us talk about.
Yep.
And
I'm glad to
share. We'll get to it.
It was so fun.
He's got some great photos. Should be a good time. We'll see you next week.